Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And what we're looking at this time is a line from Kato. Mark has two Kato lines right now on the site, and this one is Hiroshi Kato. And so this is the VG10 Suminagashi, which really refers to the layered cladding, the Damascus look. Santoku 180mm knife. Core steel is, as stated, VG10 full stainless steel, which is a popular steel for a lot of Japanese knife lines. The heat treat on that is about 61, 62 Rockwell. And the construction is a nickel soft stainless combination pattern welded layered cladding on either side of that core steel. And so you get that Damascus look. They do an etch on it, and the acid etching brings out the gunmetal on some of the materials. And then I think the nickel is what shows through in the shiny appearance. So you get a real dramatic look to the knife. Very dramatic look, as you can see, for sure. And the weight on these is about 5.4 ounces, or about 153 grams. Edge length on this is about 178, about 7 inches. And the overall length, about 300 millimeters. The spine thickness, these are pretty thin. It's about 1.8 millimeters. Pretty much just holds that all the way through. And then as you get to the very end of the spine towards the tip, maybe about the last half inch or so, 3/4 of an inch, it thins out and gets pretty thin right at the very tip with the grind of the blade. So height on this is about 44.3, easy for me to say, millimeters at the back of the blade from spine to edge. Handle is a stabilizer rosewood handle with a nice fit and finish. And why don't we take a close-up look at that while we're at it. So you get nice fit and finish on the handle. And they've got a partial tang, so it comes in the top here, and then it disappears in the inside, so that lightens up the handle quite a bit over a full, all the way through the tang, or all the way through the handle type, Euro-style tang. And you got a pinned-on bolster. Here's the close-up of the blade. It's a real pretty blade in person. You've got hand-chiseled kanji. You can feel it when you run your finger across there. It's a really pretty knife. Let's see if I can get the focus just right here. So really neat blade. So you've got some polish to the spine, a little bit of relief on that, as well as the choil, so it's very comfortable. The box edge, I'll give it a 5 or 6 out of 10. It was pretty sharp out of the box. You could make it sharper if you know what you're doing, or send it to somebody that knows what they're doing as far as sharpening, but it's pretty serviceable out of the box. Let's take a look at, let's see, it's pretty thin behind the edge, so there's your choil shot. So these are pretty good performing knives. Let's take a look at it on our cutting board. The handle's kind of on the medium, maybe a little bit thin side, so I think it'd serve a pretty wide variety. You can see you've still got some pretty good clearance on there, even though it's not a tall knife. As long as your fingers aren't too thick, or too big as far as your hands go, I think you'd be okay with that. The balance point, kind of got ahead of myself there. Balance point is just right about just a tad in front of the bolster, so it should work pretty good for a pinch grip or a racket grip, either way. So kind of a good compromise and balance point on that. So here's the cutting board shot, and you can see curvy, not really any flat spot on this. So this is not for a pure chopper. If you like to rock, here you go. I can get about right in there for rocking, or if you've got some push-pull cutting, the movement to your knife stroke should work pretty well as well, but definitely not flat. So just aesthetically, a really nice knife, good performing knife. As I mentioned on another video I just shot, a 180 Santoku is kind of cool because you get a little extra length on the blade for some additional versatility over maybe a 165 or 170 Santoku, so that's kind of a nice added bonus. So there you have just a good solid performing Santoku. This is the Hiroshi Kato VG10 Suminagashi Santoku 180mm knife.